Sameer Karna today as our NorTalk guest. Thank you, sir, for making time despite your busy schedule.
My pleasure, actually. Thank you so much for having here because when professors or even speakers are in between such talented students, experienced and mix of youthful exuberance, it's actually my pleasure to be here.
Sir, with your past experience as a faculty with North Point, what spark do you see in North Pointers that help them emerge into tactical and strategic managers?
So yeah, that's a good question actually. What I have seen in North Point, this is actually my third or fourth visit. One thing I've seen constantly is the student knowledge levels are constantly improving with every batch. That is full credit to the student quality. And I was discussing with my assistant also that the quality is excellent. Whenever I take a feedback, no offense, there are some gaps which we are trying to fill in domain knowledge, but domain knowledge you can't expect students to, if they had it they wouldn't have been required to do an MBA. One thing I feel in North Point is the serenity of this location and the sheer you know uh, space that students can actually sit down, put their mind to work, study, innovate. This is a cradle of innovation. I would like to call this place a cradle of innovation. Tactical and strategic, from your question point, I feel tactically all MBA students are pretty sorted, but if they, our job is to build that strategic bend of mind so that they can differentiate and take more long term reasonable decisions, so that vision and that visionary mindset is what we are all in our capacity trying to build. Yeah.
So, how are the brands in different sectors tackling this changes in the projects due to the pandemic?
Oh my God, that's a good question again, but that's a very broad based answer. I'll have to, if you look at sector specific, we spoke about K-shaped recovery, and so some sectors have done really well on the upper end of the K, and some sectors have actually gone down, like hospitality, hotels, tourism. If you look at the flight rates now, they are crazy because I think they're trying to recover lost ground. By and large, what worries me a little bit is the inflationary pressure that brands are facing on their cost of raw material or cost of commodities, which has gone up like quite a lot in the after the second wave. So barring that inflationary pressure, I think the brands are sorted, companies are pretty, they are provisioning for the next 6 months. Everybody in India is cleaning up their balance sheet. That is what we have seen. I have never seen this kind of cleanup in the last 20 years. Let me be honest with you on record that most of our good companies are becoming great companies, or they are trying to. Nobody wants to take debt. They are deleveraging, they are paying off their debt, and that is the mantra now, that if anything like this comes again, everybody wants to provision for it, like the banks are provisioning for one year, 6 months. But there are, I mean, our economy is not as simple as it looks. We have the organized sector like retail. The unorganized sector is so big in retail, even today I think most of our retail, 2/3 is unorganized. So there are challenges. We have to try and get them into the organized play, which everyone is doing. But I'm so happy. I'd like to share it with you. Ki first time we have seen, first time as in the last many years, coordinated effort with the RBI, the governments, even the state governments, the Zilla Parishads, coming together to fighting this mess that we found ourselves in. So overall, I think from a 2-3 year perspective, I think we should be okay. Whatever challenges we had in the second wave, we are much better as of now. We have recovered. Globally, India has recovered faster than any other major country, period. There is data to prove that, and we are on our track.
In the past few decades, we have seen the startup ecosystem grow magnificently.
Yeah.
What do you think is the reason? Is the ideology of Indians changing, or is it the foreign direct investment that is inspiring startups to grow like that?
Yeah, so it's a combination of both. Actually, we were always a startup nation. We just wanted that visionary mindset, because if you look at case studies like Haldiram, Bhujia, 1970s, he started a Bhujia shop. So I think what has changed, to be honest, is from the shop mentality, we have become a corporate mentality, or we are becoming a corporate mentality. पहले कैसा होता था कि people just wanted कि one दुकान, one मकान, it should run. But today they are thinking, I mean, brands like you name it, there are so many unicorns coming out of our country. It's still less compared to the Western world, but still I'm happy to share that funding is available. If today anyone wants to start a business, let me tell again on record, money is not the problem. There are people who are ready to pay money, invest, take stakes, and help businessmen. The problem is patience and perseverance. How patient the founder is, how patient the CEO finds himself, what is his hunger and vision for growth. And I think that is where, as a country, we are a little short sighted. I still feel we are short sighted. Very few Indian entrepreneurs, very few can see beyond 3 year, 5 year. Like if I ask somebody to tell me the 10-year projection, where do you see yourself? That question is still being joked about. Nobody has the vision of the next 5, 10 years. I don't say that they are wrong. Maybe it's unfair to be so visionary, but then don't complain, because that is what separates a Jeff Bezos or an Elon Musk eccentric fellow from any other entrepreneur. They had the vision and they had the guts to. That's why they are just 2, 3 of them, and we are like 300, 3 lakh of us. But still, to answer your question, funding is available. Point number one, ecosystem has improved. Nobody wants to go to a bank for a loan anymore. The private equity space is ready with flushed with funds, because globally the interest rates are very low. Everyone knows that. So because of all that, funds is not a problem. Ideas, innovation. I mean, we have to go beyond one Paytm, one Byju's, one. Our country needs 5 lakh small startups rather than one startup with 5 lakh employees. Let me put it that way. Yeah.
You have come up with an innovative idea, the Profitt curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Various other budding entrepreneurs are looking towards excellence and success. Right? How do you measure success?
The Profitt curve actually is our consultancy for equity market, for helping out investors. To be honest, I was doing this for the last 9 years, since 2012, but it was always on the back burner. What COVID did for us, it brought my consultancy on the forefront, and we started a YouTube channel and we started promoting. So the idea, entrepreneurs are adventure sport loving people. It's not a career choice, it's a lifestyle choice. The idea is that on a Monday morning, I want to feel fresh rather than feeling stressed. So the Profitt curve was a basic idea, and even I'll take my example. I just want to fill my house. I don't want to grow it into a multinational company or something like that. It's just a small consultancy, because that gave me flexibility, freedom to choose, helping investors. See, when you help people and when you help people make money, you benefit from both ends. You don't need to worry about revenue, top line, bottom line. Everything takes care, because the idea, the intent is to help out an investor and educate them. So that's what we are doing at the Profitt. We are educating the investors. I think marketing today has become a clever hybrid of education plus marketing, is educating. So you don't need to sell anything. You just need to inform the customer that this is how it's done. If he finds that trust in your education, I think the product or service is sold automatically. Because when you try and sell something, it doesn't sell. People call your bluff, right? So that is about Profitt curve.
Why do the procurement and supply chain functions need to converge?
Okay. They have always been, we have always seen this problem even pre-COVID. Like today, look at the semiconductor chip shortage, which is not just impacting IT. IT is doing away with it. It's impacting automobile big way. It's impacting other ancillary products and industries. So supply chain and procurement have to be part and parcel. They have to be a larger department rather than just being, like earlier 10, 20 years back, what used to happen is we used to have different departments. We still have them, but the end goal has to be timely delivery of material, shipments, cost optimization again. I think now post COVID, with that spanking that these people have got, maybe they work together with cost optimization. That should be the idea. Otherwise, it cannot function, because earlier everyone was dependent on China, as you know. So even if you had your own vendors, it's okay. But now it's a China plus one strategy. So you need to be on your toes, man. You need to know, if I'm taking something from Vietnam or Thailand or even India, I don't know the vendor. I have never dealt with, like, a company like Apple has not dealt with vendors in these countries, but they are doing it. So the convergence comes from there. Instead of giving different vendors, let's put it on one guy in a reliable and a safe country, which is democratic, because democracy, I think, plays a pivotal role in capitalism. So China plus one is actually making all these pieces come together. Otherwise, we would have never. The world was China's factory, or rather, China was the world's factory. Let me put it that way. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for your time. We are grateful to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's actually very kind of you. Thank you.